What if I told you that every prayer you've ever whispered, every desire you've ever held, every dream you've ever dared to dream already exists in its completed form? What if the only thing standing between you and the life you long for is not time, not circumstance, not worthiness, but a single sacred understanding that feeling is the secret? You have been taught to chase, to strive, to work your way toward what you want as if it were a distant shore you must swim to reach. But I tell you now, you are not swimming toward your desires. Your desires are swimming toward you. They are drawn by the magnetic force of your inner state, the vibrational signature you carry in the sanctuary of your being. The world you see is not the cause of your feelings. It is the effect. Every condition, every circumstance, every face that looks back at you is simply the outer garment of an inner state you have worn so consistently that it has become your reality. And here is the mystery they don't want you to grasp. You change the feeling, and you change the world. There is a law older than time, more reliable than gravity, more certain than death. It is the law of assumption, and it operates on one sacred principle: what you assume to be true, what you feel to be real in the secret chambers of your consciousness, must and will manifest in your outer experience. Not because the universe is kind, not because you deserve it, not because you've been good, or worked hard, or suffered enough, but because consciousness is the only reality, and all phenomena are simply consciousness pushed out into visible form. You are not a body housing a soul. You are consciousness wearing the mask of flesh. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are the operant power, the first cause, the I am from which all conditions flow. When you truly understand this, when you feel it in your bones, everything changes. The beggar stops begging because he remembers he is the king. The sick stop seeking healing because they realize they are wholeness itself. The lonely stop searching for love because they discover they are love, looking at itself through a million eyes. But here is where most stumble. They think feeling means emotion. They think it means getting excited, pumping themselves up, generating enthusiasm, like some spiritual cheerleader. This is not feeling. This is performance. This is trying. And trying is the confession that you don't already have. The feeling I speak of is deeper than emotion. It is the wordless knowing, the silent certainty, the unshakable assumption that what you desire has already come to pass. It is the feeling of fulfillment before the evidence appears. It is the sense of completion before the first thread of manifestation is woven. When you want money, you must feel wealthy before the bank account changes. When you desire love, you must feel beloved before the lover appears. When you seek health, you must feel vital before the symptoms disappear. This is not delusion. This is creation. You have been feeling your way into your current reality your entire life. Every persistent mood, every repeated inner conversation, every assumption you've held about yourself and your world has been sculpting your experience like water shapes stone. The homeless man feels homeless long before he loses his house. The wealthy feel wealthy long before they see the millions. The loved feel lovable long before they meet their match. Feeling is the womb of creation. Nothing has ever been born into this world that was not first gestated in the feeling nature of consciousness. Here is the reversal that will shatter every limitation you've ever accepted. You do not feel good because good things happen to you. Good things happen to you because you feel good. You do not feel confident because you succeed. You succeed because you feel confident. You do not feel worthy because you receive. You receive because you feel worthy. The outer world is always the echo, never the voice. It is always the shadow, never the substance. It is always the mirror, never the face. And until you understand this, you will remain trapped in the house of mirrors, reacting to reflections, trying to change the image by manipulating the glass. But when you turn away from the mirror and face the light, when you turn inward to the feeling nature of your being, everything begins to shift. Not in time, now. The moment you assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, that assumption begins to harden into fact. This is why the mystics spoke of living in the end, not living toward the end, but living from the end. Not acting as if your desire might come true someday, but acting as if it has already happened. Not hoping it will manifest, but knowing it has already materialized in the only place that matters, consciousness. Each night, as you prepare for sleep, you are given a holy opportunity. In that drowsy state between waking and sleeping, the conscious mind releases its grip and the subconscious becomes impressionable. This is your moment of power. This is your time to plant the seeds of tomorrow's harvest. Do not waste it on worry. Do not squander it on rehashing the day's defeats. Instead, construct a scene that implies the fulfillment of your desire. See it, feel it, live in it. If you desire love, feel the warmth of loving arms around you. If you seek abundance, feel the security of knowing all your needs are met. If you want healing, feel the vitality coursing through your veins. But, and this is crucial, do not construct these scenes as future events. Live in them as present realities. Do not say, I will be loved. Say, I am loved. Do not say, I will have money. Say, I am provided for. Do not say, I will be healed. Say, I am whole. The subconscious mind does not reason. It does not argue. It does not know the difference between what you imagine and what you experience. It simply accepts what you impress upon it and works to make that impression your outer experience. Sleep in the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Rest in the assumption of its completion. Let your last conscious thought be the whisper of your fulfilled desire, and watch as the outer world begins to reorganize itself around that inner conviction. Your inner conversations are not idle chatter. They are the most creative thing you do. Every word you speak to yourself in the privacy of your mind is a seed planted in the fertile soil of consciousness. And consciousness, being impersonal, being lawful, grows whatever seeds you plant. If your inner speech is filled with lack, limitation, and complaint, that is what will flower in your outer experience. If your inner conversations assume fulfillment, abundance, and joy, those states will manifest as your living reality. Listen to yourself. What do you say when no one else is listening? What conversations do you have with yourself as you walk through your day? Are you rehearsing victory or defeat? Are you practicing gratitude or grievance? Are you assuming the best or expecting the worst? Change the conversation, and you change the creation. Begin to speak to yourself as if your desires have already been fulfilled. Thank the invisible for what has not yet appeared. Praise the unmanifest for its inevitable arrival. Congratulate yourself on achievements that exist only in assumption. This is not positive thinking. This is not self-hypnosis. This is the recognition that consciousness is the only reality, and that you are consciousness individualized. You are not trying to convince yourself of something false. You are remembering something true, that you are the creator of your own experience. The world will test your assumption. It must, not because it is cruel, but because it is lawful. Your current circumstances are the crystallized form of your past assumptions. They cannot change instantaneously because they are the accumulated effect of months and years of particular feelings and beliefs. But do not let the lag time fool you. Do not let the persistence of old conditions convince you that the law is not working. The gap between assumption and manifestation is not evidence of failure. It is the gestation period. It is the time required for invisible causes to become visible effects. When the evidence contradicts your assumption, do not abandon your feeling. When the bank account still shows lack while you're assuming abundance, do not return to the feeling of poverty. When the body still shows symptoms while you're assuming health, do not revert to the feeling of sickness. When you're still alone while assuming love, do not go back to feeling unloved. This is the test. This is the initiation. Can you hold the feeling of fulfillment while the outer world still reflects the old? Can you persist in your assumption while the senses scream that you're deluding yourself? Can you remain faithful to the unseen while surrounded by the evidence of its absence? Those who pass this test inherit the earth. Those who fail it remain bound by appearances, forever at the mercy of conditions they themselves have created. The saints were not special because they were good. They were special because they were persistent. They held their assumptions in the face of all contradictory evidence. They felt their connection to the divine, while surrounded by those who denied it. They assumed their prayers were answered before they saw any proof. Saint Francis felt wealthy while owning nothing. He felt abundant while embracing poverty. He felt fulfilled while lacking everything the world calls valuable. And because he held that feeling consistently, persistently, faithfully, he became one of the most beloved figures in human history. You are called to the same persistence, not the persistence of effort, but the persistence of assumption, the persistence of feeling, the persistence of knowing. Hold your assumption like a sacred trust. Guard your feeling like a holy flame. Protect your inner conviction like the most precious treasure in existence. Because it is. Your assumption is the seed of every miracle, the root of every blessing, the source of every good thing that will ever come into your life. Feeling is not mysticism. It is science. Quantum physics has confirmed what the mystics always knew. Consciousness is the ground of being. The observer affects the observed. Mind shapes matter. Attention creates reality. Every atom in your body is responding to your inner state right now. Every cell is listening to the conversations you have with yourself. Every organ is attuning itself to the frequency you emit. You are not just creating your external circumstances. You are creating your very body, your health, your energy, your vitality. When you assume sickness, your body obliges. When you assume vitality, every cell begins to vibrate with life. When you assume poverty, your nervous system creates the stress patterns that push abundance away. When you assume wealth, your entire being aligns with the frequency of prosperity. This is not metaphor. This is mechanism. This is not philosophy. This is physics. You are a consciousness operating through a body, and that body is constantly reshaping itself according to your dominant assumptions and feelings. Feel healthy, and health becomes your natural state. Feel wealthy, and wealth becomes your inevitable experience. Feel loved, and love surrounds you like the air you breathe. This knowledge brings with it a tremendous responsibility. If you are the creator of your own experience, then you can no longer blame others for your condition. You can no longer point to external circumstances as the source of your problems. You can no longer play the victim of forces beyond your control. But with that responsibility comes the most incredible freedom. If you created your current reality through your past assumptions and feelings, then you can create a new reality through new assumptions and feelings. You are not trapped. You are not stuck. You are not at the mercy of fate, genetics, economy, or luck. You are the master of your fate, the captain of your soul, the author of your story. Every chapter you have written, you can rewrite. Every condition you have created, you can recreate. Every limitation you have accepted, you can transcend. The power that created your problems is the same power that can solve them. The consciousness that assumed lack can assume abundance. The mind that felt unworthy can feel deserving. The heart that knew loneliness can know love. Make this your daily practice. Begin each morning by assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Before you read the news, before you allow the world to tell you who you are and what you have, spend time in the secret place of your consciousness, feeling as if your deepest desires have already materialized. If you want perfect health, feel the energy and vitality flowing through your body. If you desire loving relationships, feel yourself surrounded by those who cherish you. If you seek financial freedom, feel the security and peace that comes with abundance. Do not do this as a technique to get something. Do it as a recognition of what already is in the realm of consciousness. Do not assume the feeling to manipulate reality. Assume it because you understand that consciousness is reality. And what you assume in consciousness must manifest in experience. Throughout the day, return again and again to this feeling. When doubt arises, feel your way back to fulfillment. When fear knocks at your door, answer with faith. When the outer world presents evidence contrary to your assumption, turn within and reaffirm the truth of your invisible reality. Before sleep, end your day as you began it, in the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Let your last waking moments be spent in the state you wish to experience. Sleep in the assumption of answered prayers. rest in the feeling of accomplished desires. What you are doing is alchemy. You are transmuting the base metal of present circumstances into the gold of desired conditions. You are taking the raw material of consciousness and shaping it into the experiences you wish to have. This is the greatest art, the highest science, the most sacred practice. You are participating in the ongoing creation of reality. You are collaborating with the infinite intelligence that breathes life into all things. You are discovering that you and the creative power of the universe are one. Every assumption you make is a prayer answered. Every feeling you persist in is a law enacted. Every state you embody is a world created. You are not waiting for God to change your circumstances. You are God changing your circumstances. You are not hoping the universe will grant your wishes. You are the universe granting your wishes. And here is the promise: persist in any assumption, and it must manifest in your experience. Hold any feeling consistently, and it will crystallize as your reality. Assume any state persistently, and you will find yourself living in that state. But here is the warning: this law works whether you understand it or not, whether you believe it or not, whether you use it consciously or unconsciously. You are always assuming. You are always feeling. You are always creating. The question is not whether you will manifest. The question is what you will manifest. If you assume lack, you will experience poverty. If you assume unworthiness, you will be treated as unworthy. If you assume sickness, your body will comply. If you assume limitation, you will find yourself limited at every turn. But if you assume abundance, wealth will flow to you. If you assume worthiness, life will treat you as the royalty you are. If you assume perfect health, vitality will be your natural state. If you assume infinite possibility, limitations will dissolve before you like morning mist, before the rising sun. Right now, in this moment, you stand at the crossroads of all possibility. Behind you lies the old way of living, reactive, hopeful, dependent on external conditions for your inner state. Ahead of you lies the new way, creative, certain, generating your outer conditions from your inner state. You can continue to live as if you are at the mercy of circumstances, waiting for the world to change so you can feel better. Or you can begin to live as if you are the source of circumstances, feeling better so the world will change. You can keep trying to manifest through effort, struggle, and force. Or you can begin to manifest through assumption, feeling, and faith. You can remain a beggar at the gates of your own kingdom, or you can walk through those gates and claim the throne that has always been yours. The choice is yours. It has always been yours. It will always be yours. If you choose the path of assumption, if you dare to make feeling your secret, then everything begins now. Not tomorrow, not when conditions improve, not when you feel more worthy. Now, assume now that your deepest desire has already been fulfilled. Feel now as if your greatest dream has already come true. Live now as if your most cherished hope has already materialized. Do not wait for evidence. Be the evidence. Do not look for signs. Be the sign. Do not hope for proof. Be the proof. You are not preparing for manifestation. You are manifesting. You are not getting ready to create. You are creating. You are not moving toward your desires. Your desires are moving through you. Feel it, know it, live it, and watch in wonder as the world reorganizes itself around the truth you have dared to assume. Feeling is the secret. It always has been. It always will be. And now that you know, you can never unknow. Now that you understand, you can never go back to unconscious creation. You are awakening to your power. You are remembering your divinity. You are discovering that you are not a victim of reality. You are the creator of reality, and that changes everything. The feeling is the secret, and the secret is now yours.